All right, today we will be doing, hopefully finishing this up. I think it's pretty much there. I just probably get some feedback from chat, see what we want to do. Overall, minimal Hyperland setup. I think I like it. A few things we need to approach and probably also fix is auto launch into Hyperland, because right now my system's still using xinit rc to launch into DWM, where we can't use xinit for Hyperland because it's not an Xorg application. So we need to fix that. So probably like a greet D setup's kind of what I'm thinking in my brain, but we'll see how that works out. Other things, I'm not 100% sold on this upper workstation bit right here. I feel like that could be better. I'm thinking more of like a Nordish theme for that. So probably get back in the old QML from QuickShell, tinker that. Spacing's a little off here. I think there's supposed to be like some kind of weird Windows XP theme going on. We're probably gonna kill that. So that's just a couple little gripes, you know. But a lot of it is just those little tiny things. So Nordish, Nord theme. Yeah, there's actually something called Nordic theme. So we'll get that going here in a second. So yeah, whoo boy. I should. As far as Hyperland, I will use it when I am forced. I have never managed to get it to work. Zodu, you know, I've run into a lot of issues with Hyperland as well. I think a lot of those issues were more self-inflicted by myself because I was trying to make like all the whiz-bang features and the rices that you see online that like look super cool. And I was like, that's just not me as a user. So I think you need to customize whatever setup you have to you. And this time around, instead of grabbing someone else's config, I was like, I want to strip this thing down. I don't want animations. I don't want a bunch of crap all over my screen. I don't need to see my Spotify playlist sitting there up in the middle bar, you know, with fancy graphics while an anime girl dances on my desktop. That's just not me as a Linux user. Sadly, I think I just alienated about 90% of all Linux rices with that comment. but it's true. It's true. Yeah, so, you know, that's just that's just one of those things. Hey Chris, say you got paid a decent sum of cash to build a program in Rust. Would you consider doing that or instantly say no? Yeah, decent son. I mean, that's different for everybody, but if someone came up to me and was like, dude, we'll pay you $100,000 to write a program in Rust, I'd be like, dude, I'll figure it out for you. You know? Yeah. Like, that's the thing about me. I won't go out and seek opportunity, but when it comes knocking at the door, I open the damn door. You know? But a lot of the emails I get these days is usually, like, hey, I have this computer issue, or my small business needs this. Can we hire you for like an hourly rate? And I don't do hourly rates ever. So one, because I just don't think I would be a very good deal. I'm in my mid 40s. I have a very storied career, and I would charge just a stupid amount of money per hour to do something that, frankly, someone far less skilled than me can do. And I think it's a waste of that person's money. So it's hard to say that in an email. So I never reply to the emails that I usually get saying, hey, we'd like to hire you for this. And I was like, yeah, I don't really do that. But if someone hired me and said, hey, we'll pay you X sum of money once you develop this program, well, that's not hiring me for an hourly rate. That's hiring me saying, hey, we want this. Here's the deliverables. Here's the criteria. Dude, that is where I shine. What do you think about the Iris Xe on Linux? You know, BCA, I've always had a good experience with Intel on Linux. It's like one of the things I've always enjoyed. So, yeah, I appreciate 11 months, man. Currently on 3 months. Man, you've been subscribed even when I've been offline. Yeah, man. You, sir, are a god amongst men. Cool, I have an idea. Play with the idea of having a universal porting client for any system that uses the Linux kernel that combines all the guides into one client. I plan on making an Indiegogo project of it. Universal porting client for any system that uses the Linux kernel that combines all guides into... Well, be a little more specific there, Christoph. Like, what are you trying to port? Like, get a... Like, one, I mean, Linux kernel is for an operating system, so it's not necessarily a program at that point. So, yeah, I mean, maybe a live ISO you could do. You've seen some projects like that, such as Parted Magic, where they use the Linux kernel and a suite of open source tools to troubleshoot PCs. Hey, hello. Mefton. Thanks for the prime, bro. Take Sailfish OS, Droidian Pro. Oh, I got you. I see what you're talking about. Yeah, I'm out on that. I don't touch the Linux phones, man. I sold off all my stuff. I actually did a couple videos about the Pine phones. So I had Pine phone and every Pine phone accessory. Somebody reached out to me from Canada and said, hey, do you still got those Pine phones? And I'm like, yeah, dude, I'll send them to you if you want to buy them. And he's like, yeah, how much do you want for them? And I was like, hey, you viewed the channel for like a couple of years, obviously, if he was reaching out, because this was, I think, last year. And I sent him the phones. I think I charged him like $100. And it had like the full keyboard, the Pine Phone Pro, and the original Pine phone. And I sent him all that. And customs... Dude, I freaking hate customs, but I get it, whatever. They just hate batteries. So if you've actually turned on a cell phone, you're not supposed to send any batteries through customs. Luckily, I was able to pull the batteries from them, but the keyboard still had a battery left in it. So that actually snuck through customs. Shh, it never happened. But they apparently got the Pine phones and loved them and got them booted up and was able to tinker and stuff like that. So I get it. Hey, Enron. So yeah, it's fun. I'm going to change this and this. I think I'm going to kind of work on Quick Shell. Let's see what we got. So our Quick Shell, couple things here. I think this is not even being used anymore. Let's dump that. And bar, block, and bar. I don't think this is being referenced anywhere. I think we put these next to each other, so I was trying to kind of... I got two projects, and there's certain things I liked about both those Quick Shell projects, and I kind of tried to combine them. Did a decent job, but we vibe coded some of it, as you see over here. Quick Shell, you know, I really dig Quick Shell. So I really have not liked WayBar. I haven't liked a lot of the Rust-based bars I've tried. I've tried like Hybrid Bar. Somebody else mentioned, God, what was it? It was oh, dude, I can't remember exactly what it was. It was another Rust-based bar. And then AGS, I've tried that. I've tried ew, gross, yuck. Those are all the same project. If you ever dealt with ew, you know what I'm talking about. It's very, the name is applicable. So the thing I like about Quick Shell is it's really, from a structure perspective and from a programming perspective, it makes a lot of sense to me. And I like it for that. There's almost no documentation and there's almost no examples online. So it's very difficult to work with because you can't really have very many examples. I only found 2 good examples and the rest kind of just have to make up as we go. So that's why. That's why quick shell is kind of where I do. But it hot reloads. It's a Qt layer shell, and it's really amazing. I've really enjoyed it more than any of the other shells. Because other shells, what happens is I want to do something, and then the shell is limited, or that bar is limited, and they usually do some kind of crappy INI file, or TOML file, or I've seen YAML, I've seen just a weird mix of just garbage, and I don't like it. Where Quick Shell kind of just says, here you go, you are in charge of making it. And the other thing about Quick Shell is Vaxry actually uses it for his bar. The creator of Hyperland found Quick Shell and uses it. Now you might be thinking, hey, where is Vaxry's examples? He doesn't publish his dot files. I tried to get it out of him. I was like, Vaxry, what if you just slip me some of your dot files? Just the Quick Shell. I just want some of them in cool little examples and how you program this thing up. And no. He just said, here's an example from somebody else that I found that uses Nix. I was like, thanks, man. I really would have appreciated your examples, but this is better than nothing, so I appreciate it. Come on, Vaxry, share those dot files. Oh, yeah, that's kind of cool. Which is funny, like, to preface all that too. Like, if we go to the Quick Shell thing, so this is from Outfoxed. You might be asking, hey, so Outfoxed made Quick Shell. Where are those files? I couldn't find them, so I don't know where all those are. He does have some examples here you can click on, and some of these probably are in there, but I couldn't really make sense of a lot of it. So yeah, but neat. So this is kind of like one example, and then you got this one, which again I couldn't find these dot files to do it. Maybe, yeah, but interesting. So this is what's possible with Quick Shell. Very, very different setup again. He has like this little Mac OS thing on the bottom, which I don't know. I don't think that's part of Quick Shell. I think Quick Shell's only the top part here. But very interesting. You see how all of it's very hackable, very programmable. Then you got Vaxry's. He's got his little Roman numerals. He's got this little cool little start button up on the top here, which is very cool. So he's playing his music on the right there. He's got a CPU usage, date, all that. And then I think he put his tray actually in the start button, which is a very interesting idea of making a little start button with the tray in it. I would have loved to have seen that code. And then you got this. Well, yeah. This one from Flicko. This one's just wild. Like, what in the hell? Yeah, that's just a crazy desktop where you don't even see what desktops are available. It just, you get the number of the workspace you're on. And yeah, that's wild. But I couldn't find those dot files either. Not that I would really want those dot files, because that's just so much weird customization. I'm kind of like out on it. I'm not a big fan of the Flash. Yeah, and honestly, I'm kind of in the camp of Phoenix there, where I was like, I just don't care about like super rices anymore. I just want something that really works well and does a pretty good job. I would not call it easy, no. So my dot files are publicly available. I'll put a link in chat, so if anybody wants to look at them or steal some of this code and make your own. I wanted to get like a minimal base. So what you see here is let's go github.com Chris Titus Tech /Quick Shell. So this is everything you see today. I'll put a link in chat so you can go on here, download, go through that entire repo. All of my code is publicly available, so you can look at anything here, fix my errors, any of that. That's why I do everything public. So someone smarter than me that can come along and then fix my problems. The power of open source. Let's look at Quick Shell. So this is this is my public repo of Quick Shell. Let's go. And Quick Shell is a Wayland based bar for Hyperland and other window managers. Cool. And let's go Quick Shell. We'll do this so people can find there. You can see some documentation there. The documentation's decent. So you have like syntax documentation for like the types here. The configuration, just essential configuration, kind of like laying out, hey, what's this look like? Like the rectangles here, you can see there's two different types of rectangles. The active workspace right now is like more of a rectangle, where the inactive ones are like squares. And I actually had to program each one to make them clickable. So you can actually design, hey, I want to right click this to make it do something. And then you can make notification prompts. You can make whole start screens. You can do all kinds of whatever, you know, sky's the limit. That's what I like about it. And then if you want to see more of examples, you got these examples, which are pretty limited, but it's a starting spot. So again, very young project. It's only been out, I think, like a year. So, you know, I want to show it, and I wanted to get a good, tight, minimal example, and then document everything. Maybe even make a script so more people use it. And then once I do a video on it, that should give a lot more examples for us to go off of. And then once it gets that critical mass, it should be able to sustain. And then the person running Quick Shell can do more with it, I think, and really see that. So let's see. Let's just make this Quick Shell Titus config. This is a minimal DWM style bar for Hyperland. However, most of the examples online do a lot of crazy things. If you can think it up, you can do it in Quick Shell. Try it today. There we go. Let's just create a README really fast for it. So that'll be the little repo. Yeah. Prime's using Waybar, which, I mean, that has the most examples. And if you're very new to Hyperland, probably want to start with Waybar. I'm just not a huge fan. I'm shilling. The creator of Quick Shell is paying me thousands of dollars to shill his project behind the scenes so he can make no money off of open source. Oh. Yeah, the thing I love about DWM is you just have all that, the sys tray, everything there. It's just one binary. It's so minimal. But I wanted to at least give a Wayland a shot. So let's fix, actually, let's push this to 4. Let's push this to 2. And let's look at the workspaces blocks, because I wanted to see the rectangle like this right here. Hover effect. I kind of want to change like the background of this. And this one, obviously, this is just some of the workspace. I think this is the active, maybe? Nah. Minimum width 5, minimum height 10. That's kind of weird. What if we do 5 for that and 5 for that? That really didn't do anything. But if we make all these 10, I don't think this changes anything either, but heck. Yeah. You can press dot and GitHub to do something cool. Really? Dot. Yeah. Yeah, you can do that. You know, not a big fan of the in-browser editing. Just not. It's not my jam. It's cool though. The setup looks good. I doubted you last stream. How it looks when I saw it. Yeah, Dan. You got to start somewhere, you know? I was doubting me too. But here's the thing. And this is kind of... It sounds like bullshit, but it's not. There's never been a time where I dedicated enough time and effort at something and didn't get a good result. Like, anytime I needed to get a project done, I just threw more time at it. And once you throw enough time and effort at something, it just always works at the end. It's just, did you put enough time and effort in to make it work? Sometimes that number's egregiously high, but I'm kind of OCD and a little, you know, hey, I can grind better than anybody, where I can just be like, hey, I want to do this. And if I tell you I'm going to do it, damn it, it gets done. That's just me. So yeah, I think everyone's super unfamiliar, Dan, with Quick Shell. So don't feel like it's not, you know. Let's see. I want to try something. Does this work? Yeah, look at that. Yeah, but yeah, everyone's super unfamiliar when they first start Quick Shell. So it's just one of those things because there's just not much examples to go off of. And the documentation gives you the syntax and the types, but it's really hard to piece together for a lot of it. That's kind of the purpose of this project, is to try and make it somewhat usable and somewhat, easy to decipher and have a very good structure. So then people can take this minimal layout and then do all the whiz-bang features with it if they want. But I wanted to make it more like that. And it's kind of cool, like just to showcase what it's capable of too. And we can do some wacky stuff, but let's go to the theme. So check out this. This is what we can do. We have a whole bunch of themes in here. But let's say right now it's on Nordic theme, right? Watch this. We're going to grab Windows XP, put it here. We now are on Windows XP version of Quick Shell. How cool. Pretty clean, right? Yeah. Live reloads. As you code, it magically breaks or fixes. Probably in your instance, it'll probably fix, but for me, usually it breaks. But after enough failures, I usually am able to get there and get it done. So here's Arch XP. So that's kind of cool, right? And now we're back to Nordic. So I could actually make like a little Windows XP button. And the cool part here is, like, let's say I wanted to make a Windows video. I could honestly change my theming out. I could honestly trick Windows users into thinking this is Windows. So the theme and everything's driven from this theme QML file. So this is just how my project's set up. Many others probably don't set it up this way. The idea here is to be as modular as possible. And I wanted to look to see time QML. I don't think I'm using this one as well. Let's download this really fast. grab any changes. That's good. Dan. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people hate like the P kill of Waybar, and you know, Waybar, it's kind of like a hacked together solution, I feel like. And I feel like this gives you the right amount of control, and the only limiting factor is you have to know a little bit about programming to get her done. Where it's not a config file, it's not like a TOML file or something you'd edit. But I feel like once we set this up and we structure it well enough, I think it won't matter. So, is this using utils? I don't think we use this at all. Let's kill it. Let's see. Did that change anything? I don't think it changed anything, did it? I wasn't paying attention. Push-ups. Oh God, Nav. I gotta say, the workout today was insane. I had to take a 2-hour nap after the workout today. We did, I'll just explain what it was. I know most people don't care about this, but I want to flex, so we're going to do it. So it was 10 minutes sprints of 200 meters. So that's how it started. Every other minute, you do a sprint of 200 meters. So my average time was about 45 seconds for that 200 meters for the 10 minutes. So we did 5 sprints every other minute. So it was 5 total. I averaged about 45 seconds for the sprints. So that was the first 10 minutes. And then as soon as that 10-minute clock was up, we transitioned into 20 minutes, as many reps as possible. And it was 5 pull-ups, 10 push-ups, 15 air squats, and do as many reps as possible. I got 12 rounds of that done. So roughly 60 pull-ups, 120 push-ups, and then 180 squats. As soon as those rounds were done, at 20 minutes in, you go for a mile run. And then the mile run, you just go as fast as you can. And that took me, I think it was about a 9-10 minute mile. Nothing really impressive there, but you're just so blown up from that earlier workout. You're just trying to move. I didn't walk, and I was able to run the whole way. I was pretty proud of myself on that. But man, it killed me. I got back and I wanted to start this stream 2 hours ago. I had to take a nap. I was like, I'm done. I showered. I got out of the shower and I was like, I'm going to just sit here and drool on myself if I don't do something. So I ate a banana and then passed out. Yeah. Old man Titus here had to take a nap after his workout. Oh, Dan, we're setting it up today, man. That's today, automated quick shell install. I got tired just hearing about the workout. Oh, man. It was brutal. It was brutal. Here's Flixo. Oh, I didn't know. So somebody actually did FlickOS. Phoenix always finds the good stuff. So what's FlickOS? I think I actually looked at this, right? Where is the example? What's this look like? FlickOS Quick Shell. Which one was FlickOS? Ah, that was this one. That was a wild one. That was a good one. Good link there, Phoenix. So yeah, you did track down one of them. The weirdest one possible that they were doing. Man, I love biking. That's another one, Dan. I love biking. Like even e-bikes. I know people crap on e-bikes, but e-bikes are pretty amazing. Like if you're just starting out in like exercising, dude, just taking an e-bike, and then when you get tired, you can just get some assist going on. Dude, just getting out there and be active every day. Amazing. I love it. Yeah, it's weird. All the quick shell people are like NixOS users, which NixOS is pretty niche. So I was like, hey, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love NixOS. It's just not very friendly to a tinkerer like myself because I'm constantly changing things. Hey, Mr. Hardy. Oh yeah, will do. Ever heard of N4 or Hyperluna? Take a gander. Let's take a look at this. Oh, I think I needed to do a control click. Hyperluna. Now I don't think unleash the power of Hyperland with their modern user-friendly tools. Is this Waybar? I'll tell you here in a second. Let's see what you're using. W logout. I wonder. AGS. So Hyperluna. Modern Hyperland dot files. It's really cool. So many people are doing it. Now, yeah, here we go. Oh, come on. Give me a... Can I full screen it? Okay. Ooh. I need to get build this to where, anyways, need to have a full screen button. I thought with the view here, let's go. And let's see what we got. So got all your workspaces to the right, power button. Looks like the system monitor up here. Time. Oh, this is weather. Time. Brightness. Wi-Fi. Sys tray over on the left. Yeah, AGS, there's a lot of really cool setups. That's neat. It's a neat one. I like that one, Tech Zero. We're not able to use it on a 1080. Did you follow that guide? The Hyperland wiki. Now talk about some great documentation. Hyperland wiki is really just gone. So if you're gonna do Hyperland, check out this on NVIDIA. Yeah, we got to get some full screen. Oh crap! I forgot. I'm using land mouse, so I can't copy paste into. Well, maybe. Can I not? Nah, it's not gonna allow me. Anyways, go to wiki.hyperland.org and then just click on the NVIDIA tab. And this kind of tells you all the things you need to know about NVIDIA. Oh, yeah, you're right. 1080s don't work. So you're stuck on Xorg, it looks like. According to NVIDIA, the open source kernel modules are also recommended for architectures. In short, this includes the 2000 and later. It's either proprietary driver setups do not work properly on a computer or Novu driver might be fine. So what I find, I actually, it probably still would work on a 1080, but what I would do, and it takes a little bit of this, is don't use the open drivers. I just use NVIDIA-DKMS. So that's what I found the best with. And if you're using NVIDIA DKMS, you will need your kernel headers, so Linux-headers or Linux-LTS-headers. And then you also need the DKMS package, which should automatically gets installed when you go to install NVIDIA-DKMS. But yeah, And then just follow these. You add like in your mod probe, you add this one line file, mkinit cpio. You're going to add these NVIDIA modules. And then in the environment, this is etc environment. You could add these directly in your Hyperland config if you want. I think I just tossed them in the etc environment because I was like, screw it. Less things in my config. And frankly, I don't think it really hurts anything to put them in my etc config, so I just did. And then this is just kind of NVIDIA based issues. If you're getting flickering or suspend, wake up issues, those types of things. So very, very cool, very well documented for the rough life of the NVIDIA Linux user. Thanks, Tabby. How do you find these projects? Well, usually it's like a comment on a YouTube video, or someone in chat says, hey, Titus, you need to check this out. And that's why I kind of love the just the social media aspect of what I do, because I'm able to learn stuff way, way faster than if I didn't have you guys sitting there yelling at me. Now, sometimes I'm sure it gets frustrating because I will probably do some really stupid shit, but that's just part of learning, you know? My favorite saying of all time is, you have to fail to succeed. So a lot of people see some of the stuff I do and like, that looks dumb. And it probably is. But a lot of times I'll do 10 dumb things followed by one really good thing that just redeems myself for those 10 dumb things I did. And that's just, I think, how I learn. And a lot of times, sometimes I just do the dumb things just to see what happens. You know? After all, this is for entertainment. And, you know, or edutainment, I think is what they call it. Yeah, I'm really curious to see what happens with that. Did you see NT Dev made Win 11 run on 200 megs of RAM? Oh my god, that's awesome. NT Dev's been making ISOs and crap for, God, 20 years now. He's been at it for a minute. But yeah, I love NT Dev's work. Yeah, I also did a pre-release. If you are a Windows user out there, we did a couple things. I forgot to mention this. On the WinUtil, I merged all the pull requests, all the outstanding pull requests. I think I had almost all of them were good pull requests. I think only one I couldn't merge because of some conflict, so I went ahead and closed that one. I think there was some, I could probably go back through and fix it. I just didn't feel like it. And then this is the very first release where this is all the PRs we did, but it's the very first release on the dev branch where we switched to extended validation. So I now have the extended validation thing, which I put it in a special case so I don't lose it, because this thumb drive here essentially is, it's a hardware FIDO key, and I have to plug it in to validate the script to upload it to GitHub. And this thing cost me roughly $1,300, $1,400, something like that. Over $1,000 for this thing, and it expires after, what, 3 years. Becomes just a paperweight. Kind of insane. But that's what you deal with Windows. That's just what you deal with. I don't want to get flagged for an antivirus violation. Got to pay the ransom. That's why you want to develop on Linux, man. You just want to develop on Linux. Yeah, it's some bullshit. I hate the extended validator. Rux, what's happening? But if you don't do it, then it's really hard to develop anything. So, you know, the toolbox is being run. Shoot, how many times? Let's see. I think we still keep track of it on the main page. Yeah, so the toolbox been run since we started tracking, what, a year ago, year and a half ago, something like that. 7.2 million times. That's over 7 million runs in over like about a year. That's crazy. That's like tens of thousands per day on the runs of this utility. We've passed, from a GitHub stars perspective, we've passed PowerShell as a language in popularity. That's nuts. That should tell Microsoft, hey, maybe we're the bad guys, because the most popular PowerShell tool on Windows is how to debloat Windows. That should be a red flag to Microsoft going, damn, we really screwed some stuff up if that's the case. And the funny thing is, the top 10's littered with debloat tools for PowerShell. Top PowerShell scripts, GitHub. I think it was Liam. Oh, no, Evan Lee. Evan Lee tracks them still. I don't know if this is up to date. Yeah, no, it's 17 hours ago. So here's the most PowerShell. Yeah, let's collapse it. So this is the most starred PowerShell programs. You have my tool at the top with 33,000 stars. Number 2's at 22,000 stars, which is Scoop, an amazing CLI installer. You have PowerShell Core, that's the actual language. At number 4, you have Windows 11 debloat. This is an up-and-comer. It's been really getting a lot of traction. This is more CLI-based and direct, so there's no, I don't think, a GUI experience. It's been a while since I looked at it, but a lot of people like it as well. Special thanks to Warp. Ew. Okay. Yeah, so it just uses a basic script, CLI based still, where you just pick what you want and then it debloats. I was like, that's cool. I love it. Very, very straightforward. I wonder why they're doing a script block create for this. I might go through this at some point in time. Say, this is good, this is bad. I'll take this. Everybody's thieves in the open source realm. So anyways, that's cool. Win 10 debloater. This is one of the OGs. It's no longer, I think this is deprecated and archived. Spot X, Patcher. Then you have Atlas OS, many people. Open lightweight modification to Windows privacy and usability. PowerSploit, a great hacking tool to use PowerShell to hack other Windows-based systems. And you're probably familiar with, like, probably where they got the idea of PowerSploit was probably from Metasploit. If you're into the hacking community and you want to get into that, PowerSploit and Metasploit's probably one of the big things. Tiny11 Builder, if you've remembered Tiny11, that's an ISO. Well, don't download the ISO. Use Tiny11 Builder to make the ISO. I think is a good one. And then Office Tool Plus localizations. So yeah, out of that, that's your top 10 PowerShell. Kind of an interesting sidebar. What makes Scoop good compared to the other ones? Scoop, I feel like, is a little bit better put together and a little more consistent than Chocolatey. Winget is still my kind of what I've choose because of it. Yeah, I tried Warp Terminal, and I even had Warp briefly. They actually contacted me for a sponsored video, and I was like, sure. So I did a video up for them explaining all the different features that Warp has. I wasn't that critical, I didn't think. So I sent the video to them, and they were like, hey, yeah, we preferred if you didn't show these bugs. And I was like, yeah, I guess we can not show the bugs, but are you going to fix them? So I showed some of the terminal-based bugs and stuff of Warp from the Windows port. They didn't like that. I was like, all right, fine, I'll just remove that. And then they were like, well, we want you to re-record this section. And then I was like, whatever, all right, let me re-record this. And then, because they were going to pay me like $5,000. And I was like, okay. And then I saw some of the Warp content coming out from other creators. And I saw one from Dave Plummer. And it was just awful. It was an awful video. He did it on like Mac OS or some crap. And I was just like, you guys approved that, but you didn't improve my video? Fuck you guys. You keep your $5,000, you bastards. So fuck Warp. That's all I gotta say. I was like, no, I'm not gonna redo this video. They approved that shit, and then they didn't approve my video? Fuck them. Ah! So, I was a little upset. I probably should have swallowed my pride and just sucked it up and done it and collected the paycheck. But I couldn't bring myself to do it. Anyways. And there's some things about Warp's not awful, you know? It's okay. Will I use it? No. It's slow. And it just doesn't launch. Like when I was here and I was like, hey, I want to launch a terminal. It was like, launch 1, 2, 3, and then it would open. I was like, oh God, no, I can't. I just can't. And then like the AI agent I thought was a little too egregious. Like it would just take over the prompt sometimes. And I was like, what are we doing? What are we doing here? I get it. You want to show the AI, but man, just have an AI feed shit into your terminal. Not recommended, dude. It's nice to ask it questions every once in a while, but when it just takes over and just starts running a bunch of commands and then it spits error commands and then it just daisy chains into another command, and like that's gonna cause problems. Yeah, I think Warp looks good from a UI perspective. And it is very, they got a crap ton of features. So, I mean, like, I don't knock anybody for using it. I just had a bad experience with their staff. So, you know, it was more, the software itself was fine. It was just the staff itself. They just rubbed me the wrong way. And I was just like, I don't want to work with you guys. Yeah, you have to sign in to the terminal because it uses fetches. So I think the back end, they want you to sign up. Eventually, they want you to get in the membership fee. Like Cursor, you pay the $20 a month. Same kind of thing, but for your terminal. And that's kind of where they want to lead you. So I think the AI aspect of it, I think they give you like 200 free requests, but they want to get you kind of using AI on the terminal. And then once you use those 200 requests, they want you to sign up and pay them monthly. And I honestly don't even have a problem with that. I was like, I get it. If you're using those OpenAI requests, that's going to cost money. So you can't just give out a ton of them for free. So I get it if you want to go that route. But it just, again, Human, thanks for the gifted subs, man. They're supposed to make the open UI open source. I don't know if we'll ever see that, because that will get grabbed. The way they did blocks and filtering with Warp is my favorite feature. And if they ever open source that, I would so steal it in a heartbeat. I absolutely love the blocks feature from it. That was like the standout tool. Could not care less about any of the paid ports of Warp, but oh my God, the blocks were cool because you'd run a command and you get a block, and then you could just click the filter button and then just type in what you're looking for. So you could just cat an entire file and then just go filter and then grab what you're looking for, and it would filter down any line that matched that filter. So there are some cool aspects of Warp. All right, so what were we doing? I'm just yapping away. You know, I wanted to change these rectangles up here. I don't like the white rectangles. I feel like we should make that a themed component so someone could take this and change it. And I want to say that should be in the workspaces QML. It should probably be here in the rectangle section. Now, if we wanted to change this to just be circle, see, layout preferred width, layout preferred height. I kind of want to change this up a little bit. What if, let's go here, paste that in. What if for the focus, we make it big? I kind of want to grow it. So if that, grow the, okay, that might be too big. What if we go like 25, right? 25. That's subtle. That's a pretty subtle highlight there. Oh, I kind of like it though. So then we kind of want to make the coloring. I think we should make the coloring probably a little bit Nordic. Needs to be Nordic. So color gray on highlight. So this is the hover effect. This is the workspace number. We can leave it black, but I kind of want like a tint to it. Just the bright white. It's too harsh. It messes with my OCD. So I think we're going to have to change that to border colors. We can remain the border color black. The workspace number can also be black. The rectangle for the hover effect, just a gray is fine. But we need to change the actual rectangle. So where is this going? That's the only thing. So it's actually pulling directly in. I would rather write an image GUI. Phoenix, actually, funny you should mention it. I've been actually doing quite a bit of coding, but a lot of it uses just GUI libraries. And it's for an old game I love playing, Final Fantasy XI. So I've been doing just a ton of Lua and GUI to build like in-game components to like, it's a super jank old game, like 23 years old. So I really like the programming aspect of it while I'm playing the game. So you could make a lot of the jank go away if you know how to code properly. So I love playing it and then also kind of fixing some of the things and then adding like different heads up displays with the GUI libraries. So good. Why did you ditch Kitty for Alacrity? I think I blame chat on this. Someone from chat was like, you should be using Alacrity instead of Kitty. And Alacrity's lighter. I was like, sure. They're pretty much the same thing. So I don't think really, I don't think it really matters. So where is the background though? I feel like I don't even see it. So this is the hover effect. That's the workspace. That's the border. But I don't see the actual color of the background. So I think it's just, I think we're missing the actual property for it. Let's vibe code it. All right. We are missing the background color for the buttons. It's probably not gonna know what buttons is. Let's say what for the workspace. And let's make, we are missing the general background color for the workspace. I feel like that's pretty okay. Okay. So the focused. Let's go over to our theme. Oh, what are we going to use? I think we can use theme.bar BG color. No, that'll blend too much. Border color. Button border color. I want to use that. So that I kind of want to change. So instead of the black, let's go button border color and see what that does. Now, I want to say, we're pulling theme in, right? Yes, theme. So for focus, first for the border color, let's fix that. This is the border color. So I think we can go like theme dot bar dot border color. I feel like that syntax is incorrect. Kind of just shooting from the hip here. Theme dot I want to say theme.get.bar BG color. Okay. Interesting. I wonder why it's get. Strange. So then that should button border color. Yeah, so we're kind of just, some of this is just kind of guessing until we get exactly what we need. Now, that still did not work for me. So let's go back here. So this theme.get, I don't see the import of the theme anywhere in here. But I do see the import root. So I think that grabs it and then it uses the theme.get. And if you look at the theme file, the top where we specify the theme, I bet that's like a get, right? Get right here. Item property get. So that's what it's pulling from. So that makes sense. That's why it's .get. So you go theme.get and then this. However, that doesn't work. Why don't you work? Border.color. What if see, I think AI hallucinated on us. I think it just added this in the wrong spot. I feel like this should go right here. And also that question, I think that syntax is wrong. I think it's smoke and crack again. So I think that's it. Just to black it out, I want to see if this works. Let's go like full on gray. Yeah. That's where it should be. That's what it should look like, stupid AI. Now, the theme color. Now the focus hover effect. Okay. Obviously, we don't want the color to be this. I just wanted to specify it. What I want is a pretty background color. Not the same as the background. Maybe... oh, this is like a gradient. Oh, that would be so cool. A bar gradient. I don't even think this is being used. So I want to say we could probably... See, I don't think we can use the bar gradient in here. That would be neat, though. I like the idea. Let's grab this icon color. I don't think I'm sold on the color, but I want to see, make sure this works. So let's first, boom. And we're going to go theme.get.icon color. Yeah. Now, that is not the color I wanted. So I'm thinking it's just not grabbing it properly. Because it should be this color. That is not this color. So what you doing here? It's a variable, so you shouldn't have to close it in quotes like this, right? Yeah, I didn't think so. That would be silly. So that doesn't work. All right, let's ask AI. Say, hey. And we're going to limit the scope here so it doesn't hallucinate and start going off the reservation and wanting to change the whole damn program. And we're just going to say this one line. If I use a RGB value like hashtag 33333, it works. But when I try to pull that value from theme.qml using theme.get.icon color, it doesn't display the proper value. All right, investigate. Show me you're not worthless. What? Theme? That's not going to work. It's defined as a string, but in the workspaces, you're trying to directly the color value. The problem is QML needs to know the string should be interpreted as a color. Let me modify that with qt.color with the string. That doesn't work. So you're using Qt color, which isn't the correct way to handle color strings. Bro, you're doing it in circles. What? You crackhead. Yeah. That still does not work. I really don't like that. Ugh. Whatever. Yeah, still no good. You are dumb. You are dumb. None of that works. You are a senior software engineer and not a script kiddie. I need you to fix the color, but do not add a ton of code. Just change these lines. You are right, I am dumb. Well, I could have done that. Yeah. Yeah, okay, I have a brain. I know how to add values. I need you to get the function, just get the value. Not Okay. Now that we have that, I need to get that value from theme.qml and display it instead. Use the Nordic.icon color theme value. All right, yeah. That's... Would that work? No, that wouldn't work. Yeah. How is it referencing theme? We declared theme at the top using theme. That's the code I had there. Fucking hell. Man, AI is coming for them programming jobs. If you have an IQ of 70, you really need to worry. I'm just saying. Yeah. 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 How about this? How about this? This isn't pulling the value. Let's set up some debugging. Yes, let's debug it. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Debug. Perfect. So, let's properly debug this thing. Unable to define. All right. Yeah, there we go. Now. No. That's not going to work either. Now, that's fine, but this is still undefined. Undefined. I don't think that'll work either. Yeah. Yes. Where's the next undefined color? Well, actually, that does look like it was grabbing something. It's not undefined. Unable to assign undefined. Oh, no, it is undefined. Yeah. Oh, shit. Oh. We can't read. That's our problem. Stupid AI. Get out of here. We're worthless. Absolutely worthless. I think we can just do root. Like a colon root. Let's just try and fix it ourselves. Yeah, I was like, that's not working. I think that's the proper syntax. Well, we'll find out here shortly. So I think if we do that, does that pull in the proper... All right, let's quit that. Quick shell. Now, let's look at our debug. Now, we're going to do some reading. I know, reading's hard. We're close. It does look like that pulled it in. I think I got the syntax the first shot. Hell yeah. Obviously, we didn't fix the variables, but that should be relatively easy. I don't see the theme cannot be imported error. Unless I'm missing it somewhere, but I do not see that error message, which is great. So using our brains, we've imported the theme now, and now we should be able to reference it. So to reference it, we're going to just reference it like you would normally reference something, not how AI decided to just make some shit up. So now our debug is off. So let's fix that. So now it should be writing the proper debug. And yet, let's just relaunch. Okay. Where am I going wrong? Cool strat to use GitHub's code search to find stuff. Yeah. If there was a lot of more examples for Quick Shell, it would make this a lot easier. Some of this we're just having to make up as we go. So line 64 and 67, undefined to Q color. So it's not able to define that variables, I think, still. So we're not able to get these. It's a type error. So I think when we're pulling this in, I think it's reading some values, but it's not able to do it because the types, I think, are mismatch, and then it makes it undefined. Because I'm no longer, it looks like it's importing it correctly now. But I believe the type error is the problem. All right. Let's search it. Let's go old school. Going old school with it. Here we go. Gemini is going to give us the solution. All right, anyways. Let's actually go to the Qt form. No. I think this is what you're looking for. No. Type error. Yeah, I don't know where that one is. Like when we look at that quick shell bar images right here. This is in blocks icon QML line 19. So if we go to icon line 19 image, this is grabbing it properly. So if that's the case, the import, you think utils is fine, but this, I think, what if we just grab that whole thing much like we're doing with icon, right? Root forward. This as might be an issue. Because how is it referencing some of these? No, yeah. I think that as is unneeded altogether. Because how QML looks like it's functioning is it's grabbing the name of the file, which is theme.qml, and just doing theme.getColor looks to be right. So that's interesting. It's an interesting syntax. So this, like as theme and stuff, and as utils, I don't think that's even, well, yeah, because this is grabbing all of these things in, and it's using hyperlink. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna leave that alone. I think that's fine. But now the theme, oh shit, it changed the bar. Okay, that fixed it. There we go. Man. Mind if I set a link to help? Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, Rux, you can. How are you not VIP, right? You should be VIP. It's Rux, man. Rux is a legend. Yeah, you don't even need it, so I just imported it. Oh, I haven't modded you? Oh, 1 second. On VIP, Rux. Mod Rux. There we go, Rux. You can just ban everybody now. All right, cool. So this actually works. So that was cool. That was like a very neat explanation of it. So when you're doing an as, what this does is it just grabs this entire, it's really, you should only use as a directory. So don't do as colors, because when you import in QML, from my understanding from this syntax, is look how it's done in reference down here. So utils, so if you look at utils, utils.hyperland utils, the only import we've done is the dot, which is the previous directory, utils, which is right here. And then look, this wasn't declared anywhere, but it automatically grabbed all these files in here. So whenever we're referencing utils.colors, it would grab the colors. If we did utils.resources, it would grab the resources. So really interesting on how that syntax works, that we kind of deduced by just kind of hacking around. Fun. A lot of fun there. So now we've got this. We can get rid of this debug. Thanks, AI, for nothing. Freaking AI. Awful. Awful eye. That's what you are. There's no artificial. Well. Awful. Awful. Artificial awful. Not. Yeah. AA. Going down a rabbit hole. Just. It's drunk all the time. That's what it should be called. AA. Yeah. There we go. Actually, Alcohol Anonymous. That's where they get sober. So maybe that's not even proper either. Anyways, I'll find something good. Finally a mod in chat. Yeah, but I don't think we've had a mod for quite some years. Hey, Vlad's in chat on old YouTube. On the old YouTubes. Yeah. How's it going, Vlad? Yeah, we're hanging out, man. We're hanging out. We're pimping out old Quick Shell. So now we've got this done. I want to make a cool cool theme here. That button border color, is that there? How are we doing that? So let's go here. Button border colors, perfect. I like it. That's representative. Button background is a new one we're going to add. Remember, we're going to be doing camel case. So, oh, that's funny. Yeah, Google didn't help us either. Just hacking around helped us more than anything. All right. So, under theme, we're going to go here. And then we're going to go property, string, button, background, color, colon, quotes, and we go like a 3D 4 5 5 0 quote. And we're going to have to pound that. Yeah, something a little darker in between the button border color and the BG color. So it just is a little accent. Just enough. Just enough. So then we're going to take that and icon color. Boom. Oh, yeah. That does not look good. I don't think I like that at all. Border width. Let's go with a 4. And a 2. Okay. What's that weird border on the end of it? I don't think I'm sold on the black. That should be white, please. Okay. A little cleaner. And the hover effect. What's that look like? Oh, yeah, that looks good. That looks good. I like it. What do we think of that? What do we think of that? How's that looking? I feel like that's pretty solid. I think that border on the highlight is a little much, though. I think for the focus, we're going to go with a 3. Just slightly bigger. Yeah, I like that better. The border seems still a little off to me. I can't quite put my finger on it. I think it's that hover effect. No, it's not the hover effect, because the hover effect is not there. It's like the corners are just, I can't, maybe I'm just being picky. But it feels like some of the corners are like a little more highlighted than the middle part of the bar. And it could just be how it's drawing the radius. I don't know. I think I'm just being picky. And I feel like the workspace text number, let's bring that up just a scooch. Yeah, go from a 12 font to a 14. Now my old man eyes like that. Okay. Yeah, I bet you it's the radius thing. We're not a hippie, so we're going to take that radius down a little bit. That radius. Parent radius. All right, let's find that other radius. Radius 6. Let's go with a radius of 2. Oh, I think I like that better. Oh, yes. 18, please. All right. Now we're speaking my language. See, normally chat's like, too big, Titus. Too big. 18 is clipping a little. We're going to have to go 16. 16 is about what we're going to have to go with there. What do we think of that? Boom. Oh, that's clean right there. I'm liking that. I say 15. All right, we're going to go with Rux. We're going to go with Rux on this. Just tad down. All right, I like it. Now, there's no padding there. Huh. All right. Cool. Workspaces, I think we've got this locked down. We've learned so much pimping this out. Now, we need to fix this arch icon, right? I feel like we should do like a menu of something. Or is the arch icon just too much? Is it just for show? Do we even want it? I mean, do we really want to be that person that's like, by the way, I use arch? I think we should put a Windows icon just to troll people. I like that idea. And the CTT icon. Now we're talking. There we go. Yeah, I think the icon's unnecessary. I kind of want to leave it, but I feel like it's unnecessary all around. So right now there's an image behind the block, I want to say. If I'm doing this right, let's shift things over, because this image is really just not needed. Let's say we take that out. What happens? Nothing. What happens if we take that out? Icon disappears. All right. So, where is that padding? Is the preferred width just hard-coded in? It is. And then it just kicks it over. Really? Wow. Oh, and then there's the anchor's horizontal offset. So then you got the Windows button. Ah, I see. I see what they're doing there. Point set. So this would probably, if you want an icon, let's say probably like that. But then it's still off, right? So let's take this horizontal offset. Really, instead of a -2, that probably should be 2. And this should be like a 22. Oh, no. No. Oh, not 122, but just 2. Yeah. So something like that would be more in the... Even then, it's a little bit off, right? Yeah, then it's there. But then I think we got to do a little bit of a vertical offset, right? Let's see how hackable this is. Vertical. Center. Offset. Colon. 4. Did I spell vertical wrong? I did. I failed English class. Yeah. Like a 2. Yeah, so then you get it there, and then you can kind of play with it a little bit. So then you go a little bit bigger, and then adjust that to like a 3, and then you're like, perfection. So, yeah. So the cool thing I love about QuickShell, the more I hack around with it is, if you can think it up in your brain, you can pretty much just do it on the screen. And how it imports and does these live reloads, it's so easy to develop for because you're seeing in real-time feedback. And then if it can't build, like I have autosave on, so it constantly is tossing errors my way. But if it can't build, it just will use the old config until it can build, and then it just updates. So as soon as you get the right thing, bam, it shows on the screen. That's really neat. So I think I could see a lot more people using QuickShell, especially as you're developing, because then you're not relying on quirky errors and config files and stuff. It's just, hey, does it work, or is the code good, or is it bad? And I think that's awesome. So, yeah, I just did all that just to see what we could do with it. But how do we exclude? So let's say I kind of want to come back to this at some point in time. Or let's say I want to change this to a button. What if? How do we change that to Wofi-R, I think it is. So let's say we have Wofi dash, was it dash D run show? Yeah. So we do like a Wofi dash D run show, turn that into like a start menu. I bet we could do that as well. So instead of doing the process as neofetch, which who the hell uses neofetch in ZHH in foot? Ugh. I get what they're doing here. I kind of want to just fix this really fast for my config and then delete it. So let's say you do alacrity, not ZSH, but we're going to do that. And then we're going to do fast fetch because neofetch has been deprecated for like 3-4 years or some crap. And then bam, save that. And then when you click it, oh, that would have been cool if it worked. Does that work? Line read okay. Ah, probably something with our command. So we take that. Ah, okay. So it's an invalid command for that. That might be why a lot of ricers use foot. Oops. Help. Is there width? Oh, you can't even set the width. Okay, so the spawning of alacrity doesn't allow width. So a lot of ricers end up using foot so they can specify the diameter of, or like the XY value of the terminal. That's kind of neat. I get it. But let's say we didn't want to do that. Let's fix this up again. Instead of using this, I bet we can just do... Oh, I don't think E is a value either, but let's see. Not quite. All right. Let's just make this a basic command. Okay. So then you could run your command with whatever you have there to get that working. So it's at a float position for the dispatch. So let's say you wanted to change this from a float. I mean, honestly, you could just say, hey, spawn this command. So you just do an execute instead of a float. And then all of a sudden, boom, it just pops up as a window. Okay, neat. I like that. So instead of alacrity, obviously, we're just doing it. Show, was it D-run show? I think it was that. So then when you click it, boom, you now have a start menu. Now, we could change that command of Wofi to be in like the top left, anchored, probably, would be the right one. Let's AI, you should get this, dude. I'm throwing you a softball, AI. Set Wofi to dock in the top left on D-run show. All right, great. Like, come on, man. That was like the softball of all softballs. You're worthless. Anyways, the proper way of doing this. Just show it. Let's go. Is AI good? Yeah. Not unless you're an AI bro shilling a new company to sell for 30 million to a bunch of other dumbasses with too much money. AI is not good. You can make a shit ton of money doing it though. People are dumb. As I get older, I realize, man, there's a lot of really stupid people with a lot of money. It's so true. Yeah. So, like, what's your excuse for not making money? Other than, hey, I wasn't born in a rich family. I'm just like, bro, the more I do it, the more I see behind the curtain, I'm like, man, this is wild. I can't believe I thought the world was much more complex than it really is. Hey, what's up, Blast? I wouldn't call anybody stupid. It's just saying low intellect. A lot of people with too much money, especially like VCs. And, well, I mean, honestly, when it comes to venture capital, when you think about it, like, the name of the game there is you have, like, your own team of people that charge, like, exorbitant fees, and then you buy up any company that's selling. Good or bad, doesn't really matter. You just buy up a bigger the better, that has just millions of dollars worth of debt, and then take out double or triple the amount of debt, destroy their business, doesn't really matter. Drive up all those fees and feed them through your team of bros. And then once you've extracted enough value and you've kept that going as long as you can, and the debt has gone all the way up to the maximum, and the bank's like, hey, yeah, we're not going to give you any more loans. I don't think your business is sustainable. They're like, all right, well, cool. Let's sell this guy off and move on to the next victim. And that's essentially the business of most American companies and VC firms. At least as I see it. I've seen it enough times whenever I see like venture capital take over something, it's just like, well, a handful of people are getting rich here. Say bye-bye to that business in about 5 to 10 years, though. I've never seen VCs actually do anything good. Anyways, sorry. Small rant. Let's go here. I think we're going to do a custom file for... Do we even want a start button? Like, what do we want on that? Is it --x and --y? It'll let you specify? Really? You don't need to do a special config? Oh, you can. Oh, dude. All right. Yeah, that's a good catch. So we don't need that. So it looks like just -x, -y. Yeah. Nice. -x. Let's go 0. -y. Let's go 40. And then click. Oh, that's neat. So QuickShell assumes immediately that the Y value of 0 is right below it's not going to overwrite on top of it. So you don't have to make any kind of guesses. So if we just come back here, go, oh. Okay. So there's that. Small issue here. Yeah. I kind of took out some code that I needed. Okay. So there is the colon while true. Damn it. Wow, what's the command? I need to get better with get on this. Now, if we look at icon, let's look back on the revisions. So if we look at this revision, I think it just shows, right? Show me icon. Is this showing every icon? Oh, it is. Cool. So then let's get rid of this. Let's just close all these to the right. Close to the right. Close. Pop-up context, hyperland utils, time, memory, date and time, battery. Dude, I have enough set up? All right. Anyways, let's go icon. The beauty of, here we go. And if we look at this, let's scroll. So right after this command, before the end of the command, you do a while loop is true. So if we take this part of the command, we come back into our icon file and say, hey, do while true done. So then technically that should reload. No, I screwed something up here. Show XY 0. Oh, no. That was a command through there. That's not going to work properly. So I need to... How do I make it disappear? What do we got? Wofi command flags, right? There's probably a command flag directly for that. I've been using my lin util. Man, I need to get back to that, Aussie. Got 80% of your DWM setup. I also saw you added a hyperland setup. Anyway, so after running the setup of DWM desktop entry in GDM, open a naked DWM instance and not the one which is configured that only start with start X. This has happened because of GDM and GNOME as setup auto start loop on your basic. How can I make it work with GDM itself? GDM itself is configured through like etc. I think it's like gdm.conf. Don't quote me on that. It's been a while since I used GDM, but I want to say you would just add the X sessions. I think it's user /usr /sessions /X sessions or something like that. Shoot, let me look it up for you. I think it's USR and share, and then I think X sessions. Yeah. So what you do for that is you'd add your sessions into here. So what my DWM sessions looks like, and I think it does this automatically. Actually, yeah, no, the DWM project, when you do it, it should add it in there. So you just need to reference that DWM desktop. So under session, you just type DWM. So when you're configuring GDM, it would say session equals, and then you just put DWM. And you can see all the sessions you can choose from your USR /share /X sessions. So that should help you out, man. Anus gets, or is that a NOS gets? All right, let's see. Check if Wofi is already running. If pget-x Wofi, then hashtag if running, kill it. pkill Wofi else, if not running, start Wofi. Huh. Is that whole line proper? That looks like a script to me. Kill it using process. I was like, what is that icon? Final shape raid race. Oh, that's cool. I remember. I liked that. The plot line of Destiny 2 on the final one, not bad. Watch one of your distro reviews. I decided to switch from Ubuntu to Kubuntu. I've been happy with that. I'm thinking about jumping on Debian KDE now. Would you recommend Debian KDE as a good alternative to Kubuntu? It's like more of the same. Like, I like Kubuntu, and I have a pretty good working relationship with their team. And, you know, the differences between Debian KDE and Kubuntu are relatively minor. I don't think you really pick up anything for doing it. I wouldn't call one better than the other. The one thing I found with Kubuntu, and why I would say I think its defaults are a little more sane, and if has some of the optimizations of Ubuntu. So where Kubuntu I would lean into would be like a laptop install. I found Kubuntu on laptops works really, really well out of the box compared to the Debian counterpart, which requires a little more work. They're both very good though. Like, you can't really go wrong. Like, we're splitting hairs between Debian KDE and Kubuntu, in my opinion. Both are very solid. If you already know how to configure Linux well, I don't see much difference between the two. But they're both solid. You kill it with the quick shell process signal. Process signal : void signal. Int sends a signal to the process if running true, otherwise does nothing. No doubt, bro. That makes me like quick shell even more. So when you do process signal, right in here, let's see if we can find the signal command and get us a little example. Now, we don't have any in this project, but apparently, let's look at the documentation. This is where the syntax documentation would actually come in handy. Let's go quick shell. Let's go documentation and process. Process would be process. Search. Process. Here we go. So here is our process. We got clear environment, bool, if you want to clear out and send specific environmental thing. Nice to know. You got command. You can do a list for the command. Nice. Process ID. Yeah. Running bool. Running true. On run changed. If not running, run equals true. If the process is currently running, defaults to no. Set the property. Okay. Data stream. I'm just checking all the different working things. Here's the signal that he was talking about. Sends a signal to the process if running true, otherwise does nothing. Oh. Cool. So then you just do signal. Oh. So what does that look like? Yeah, that was what I was looking at. Okay, cool. Same thing. So you can sig kill, do whatever you want to do. That's pretty nice. I mean, the more I learn about Quick Shell, I feel like there's just so much untapped potential here. Like nobody's really using it, and I want to just try and make like little tweaks here and there to showcase, hey, here's some minimal syntax to get this going, and then have someone just steal my stuff and then improve it drastically. You know, the dream of open source right there. So let's figure out the signal thing. So for the command, running false, I want to say defaults to false if the process is currently running. I don't. Okay, but so where would signal come in? It's a void. So sends a signal to the process if running true. Okay, so then you go signal 9 probably for like what, kill? Isn't 9 kill? I can't remember. Signal colon 9. So then this is stupid. Let's get rid of it. So now we have all that. Then we click this, boom. Now, that didn't. Component not ready. 26. Cannot assign non-existent property signal. So, non-existent process. All right, so that's cannot assign non-existent property signal. But signal's right here. Maybe I'm doing it. It's not a property, it's a signal. Okay. So instead of this, it would be just like signal 9 like that. I feel like that would be it, right? Expected token 26 colon. So it does. Okay, so signal colon void sends a signal to the process of running true, otherwise does nothing. So then you would put the colon, and when we wrap the command in that, you can't declare it inline like that. You would use signal on the button that launches it ideally. All right. Actually, let's go here. All right. This code doesn't work. Look at documentation at and explain why and how to use signal. Let's see if old AI can explain it to us. It's been so helpful today. Oh God, we broke it. We made it think too hard. It was like, no. It's like, oh no. I can't just spit out some garbage. I'm gonna have to read some docs and explain something. All right, so you can put it on the on-clicked to click once and open, click again, and sig kill. Oh, I gotcha. So the process is fine as is, but instead of signal, we put the signal in the on-clicked attribute down here. So click again would go into here. I'm gonna see if AI can figure this out. I got an idea of how I want it to look. I kind of want to see what it comes up with, though. Yeah, AI is not having a good day today. It has been just absolute trash. It's been thrown our way. I feel like it's getting stupider because in the past I've had it give some decent responses, and the queries today have been very specific, and what we've gotten from the queries have been just so stupid. Like, I just recognize immediately. I'm like, that's not gonna work. I was like, that is such a dumb suggestion. That is just some copy pasta. And I think that the reasoning behind that is because Quick Shell's just so new. No one's really used it. And it has just such a low adoption that it just doesn't have the examples to go off of. Oh man, I need to add some commands in chat. Maybe a chat bot. One of these days. But I don't really have anything enabled. I think I have subs. I have sub alerts. So if you subscribe, an alert will pop up. Probably. Maybe. I'm thinking. Although all those gifted subs earlier did not pop up. Dude, we broke it. It's just like, I don't know what to do. So this would be... click again. So on clicked function. Let's see if we can't track down that on clicked function. On clicked. All right. Uh-huh. Where are you at? On clicked. Boo boo. Is there a way to say on click again? On click twice. That would be too easy. But oh, I gotcha. Yeah, so since this is using Qt, we need the Qt document. Is this Qt5, Qt6? Subscriber, Vlad. Thank you, sir. Yeah, it's broken. That should have worked, but my alerts broke. I apologize, Vlad. I let you down there. We should have gotten a loud pop, but alas, all I can give you is it just QTS? Qt6. Okay, it's Qt6. Here we go. Qt6 documentation. All right. On clicked. All right. On clicked. Are we sure those signals are actually direct Linux commands, or are they actually these signals? Because this is like signal double clicked, canceled, entered, exited, position change, pressed, release, wheel. Maybe. On clicked though. This is not alphabetical. That's not alphabetical. Gotta love that documentation. What? That's insane. All right, well, let's try on clicked. All right, QT. There's mouse area, abstract button, signal and handler event system. Maybe. Neofetch running equals not neofetch running. Okay. Hey, it came back. Okay. So, changes. Remove the incorrect signal 9. We knew that was wrong. Added a proper signal command in the onClicked function. Added a check to see if the process is running before sending the signal. Cool. Added a comment explaining the signal usage. Send sigkill, which is sigkill 9. Yep. Now the code. Check to see if the process is running. If running, hit a signal and then run it again. Okay. That seems like it would work. Now, obviously, we're going to rename this IUD and clean this up a little bit. Now, sigkill is immediate. You could do a signal 15 for termination request, is another very popular one, if it needed to be more of a gracious shutdown, but this is Linux. We like to just murder processes left and right. Let's see what this does. Okay. No, it did not kill it. That didn't work. Huh. Hello there, John. Oh, Outfox, please stop the vibe coding. Oh, Outfox, man. Hey, appreciate you setting this up. Oh. Oh, man. All right, running a process. Let's read. Outfox called us out. We can use process command to run. Datetime running true. Standard out. Split parser. Listen to resignal. I don't want to run it at an interval. Reusing. Here's this one. So this is a date, but it's on a timer. Not quite what we're looking for. Again, another timer. Wonder if there's a signal example in here. Check the QML overview. All right, we should have, here we go. Signal is basically an event emitter you can connect to and receive updates from. They're declared everywhere. So okay, so signal handler. Column layout, on clicked, update text. So when you click that, it would call this function. Indirect. So how are we using that sigkill? That's what I want to know. Maybe we're not using sigkill at all, actually. Yeah, I don't see it in here, man. Signals. A signal can be explicitly defined with this syntax. You got your signal name, parameter type. Okay. Making connection signals have to connect function method. Invoke the given function on the signal when the signal is emitted. Okay. I guess I'm looking for a signal syntax, but I don't see it on signal or signal in any of these code examples. All I just see is process object dot signal name and then the params. OnClicked handles the button dot clicked signal. I guess we're thinking of signals differently. I think we're crossing our wires here. Whenever I think signal, I think of a sig kill, like doing like a p kill or kill all -9 kind of thing in Linux. So I'm trying to unwire my brain for that. I'm not a programmer. I'm more of a direct command. So I love programming, don't get me wrong, but a lot of the general ones I just usually go off examples and go, okay, here's something. Think of Qt signals like event emitters, not Unix signals. Yeah. I guess if I knew what an event emitter is, it would help. Did not go to school. College dropout. Oh my god. It emits events. How's it going? Wow. I get it. I get it. So when we look at our code here, the on event right here. So when it hits neofetch running true, this should send it back. I wonder why this code itself does not work. Honestly, did we check to see if we had any debug in the log? There's a battery error, but that's fine. There's no invalid syntax here. Right? Oh, it's still looking good. Read the code. You're killing the process and then immediately restarting it. On clicked. If it is running, kill it. And then run it. So if it is not running, it should just run it. On click. That seems right from a logic standpoint. Am I missing something there? No, you don't do an else or a turn here because you don't need an else, because if it's not running, you want to run it. If it is running, we want to kill it and then run it. So it's not going to launch multiple instances. So that's one instance, and I can exit it out, right? One instance, I'm going to click it again. One more click. Now we spawn 2 instances. We don't want 2 instances. So, oh, see that? There's 2 instances running. So that's that neofetch signal. I'm thinking of it as a sig kill. This line right here doesn't work because this is incorrect. What it should be is probably like probably just a direct command to kill neofetch. So probably like a command colon dash. I would say just a straight sig kill. So I'm thinking of signal as, but as you explained, that's not what signal is in that definition. So let's just send a command using sh, and that command will be pkill Wofi, right? Pretty darn straightforward. So then instead of that signal thing, we're going to just do that. So boom. All right, how many do we spawn? I clicked it like 5 times. Yeah, we got like five ones in there. So that did not work. Oh no. This is terrible. Oh, I feel bad for you guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We got some actual developers in chat. So, let's see. Do we have any errors on the output? Line 35, that. Okay. 35. So this is, oh. Is a space going to matter? It might. Yeah?
Hey, Daddy.
Yeah, what's up, bud?
We need to do the haircut thing before it gets too late.
Oh, yeah, it is almost 6. Okay.
Yeah.
I forgot. Yeah. I'm going to shut down here in a second. All right, so let's see if this works. Okay, gonna run it a couple times. All right, that should be, yeah, it didn't kill it. It is very wrong. Why not just, I guess that's true. Could just do that. It's simple enough. Actually, let's do a P kill. Or so the dispatch from hyperctl execute. Hey, if ID already exists of Wofi, go ahead and P kill. Or run that. Let's go to Whirl. Do we have any issues with that? Well, that does work. I guess I was just overcomplicating it. And if you click it again, boom. Ah, man. It's okay. I feel like there's just, it's not as elegant as I want. But it does work. Appreciate that, Vax. Command is invalid syntax inside of a code block. So this right here, neofetch dot running, neofetch dot running. So this would be a different way of doing it. It's not how it was intended to be used. That's why it's not. Yeah, it doesn't feel great. Let process manage the Wofi instance instead. And then just go right here with it. So let's take this. This is how Outfox wants it. And still running multiple instances with that syntax. The hyperctl is redundant, is not needed. All right, let's kill that. Let's kill this. All right, getting rid of the redundant hyperctl. That works. Yeah, that feels better. So probably what I would do is, well, I've actually already done this in the workspaces. So workspaces, I really like this kind of emulating like a DWM setup. I know this is a little bit of bastardization because Vaxter did all that work on those animations, but it just feels really, really good to me though. And what we did was like a hover effect. This is kind of how this was set up with the hover effect, workspace number, and then just the general right here. So we could do probably like a behavior on, like gray it out a little bit when we go here on the hover effect. I want to say we could do that. Be kind of cool. No, I don't think that would be like a rectangle, but it's very neat. I love, like, Quick Shell, don't get me wrong here. I'm sitting here hacking away. Don't take this as a critique. I'm really enjoying a lot of the things. I'm just usually used to pulling from a lot of examples, so then there's just not very many examples to go off of. So a lot of this I'm just shooting in the dark. Yes, no doubt. No doubt. Oh, yeah. So this one, I got you. I actually did that for like the opacity for this. It's actually kind of already done up here. I want to say on this one, the focused, we're changing the border width. We could also just do that with a color. So let's go. See, this doesn't need to happen. And this one would be under color. And is hovered. I don't think that's probably right. Question gray. And then it would colon over into something like that. Right? I'm trying to think of anything else I would add here. Mouse area can, or would it be more of a mouse area dot contains mouse? Yeah. That's right. Oh. Oh yeah. Is over it is in there. Contains mouse is. So I want to say just we could just grab this right here. Mouse area there. And let's say we get rid of this. Still works. Yeah. Clean. That's pretty cool. Yeah, Outfox, man, great job, by the way. I've been looking for a bar for Hyperland for a while. I think even hollered at Vaxry on X and was like, hey, man, any chance you do like a bar setup for me? Just like a minimal bar? Because I really don't like Waybar. I haven't liked the various different Rust bars I've tried. Like there was Hybrid Bar. There was another bar someone mentioned in chat earlier. I think it was like last week's stream. And I've tried a bunch of different bars and nothing I really enjoyed. I've actually, as much as I'm a complete noob with Quickshell, the more I hack around in it, if there's something I'm trying to do, I might not do it the right way, but I usually can do it, which is kind of amazing. So I really kind of wanted to clean up a lot of this, make a good structure or a good base for people to kind of work off of, and then just go. But again, I've never used Qt library. I've never really programmed much. So a lot of it is just kind of shooting in the dark here. Obviously, I have some programming experience, but most of that's scripting, which isn't really programming. Polybar. Ugh, gross. Waybar is better than Polybar. so that's my opinion, but very cool. I appreciate you stopping in though, man. That's very neat. I've actually really enjoyed this. So we'll quit that. Let's just go over to Quickshell, Lazy G, and we're just gonna go fix tray, menu button, and workspaces. We're basically adding a lot of the theming and making it to where we can adjust the theme on the fly too, which is great. Yeah, so my main problem, Outfox, just to do it. I said it earlier, but like, let's say we go here, like, where's this configuration at? Like, a lot of the examples right here, when I click it, it shows some of the components, but not really a full example of it. And if I click this, this just takes it back to the website. A lot of times I'm like, hey, where's the actual like Quickshell documentation? Well, the documentation's there for like syntax, but if you don't understand Qt, you're gonna have a hard time. So a lot of it, I'm relying on existing examples. There really isn't any. There's some like Nix ones I've tracked down doing searches for Quickshell on GitHub, and that's the problem. Like Vaxry's config, I can't find that. This one, can't find that. I think somebody from chat did find Flicko's configuration, which is pretty damn wild. I don't want to copy that configuration, nor would I like to use it as my base. I just want something minimal. So a lot of that was like, okay, but tracking down some of these to give people that don't program a shot at configuring Quickshell, I think would go a long way. Just putting together some minimal configurations for folks, just some dot files, say, here you guys go, here's this one, and then they can kind of go through and go, oh, I like the way they did the volume or the Wi-Fi, and then they can go through that and see your examples and go, oh, okay, that's how you do it, and then, you know, hack together something to their own. I think that would be the best way to really see a ton more traction, because in my opinion, I've enjoyed Quickshell more than I have any other Waybar, and I suck at it. Obviously, you've just witnessed the last hour that's probably just been like pulling teeth for you, and that's kind of where we're at. Yeah. But yeah, and that's where I just kind of want to open it up, because right now where Quick Shell is, it's just such a very niche thing. You have to be a programmer to use it. And what I wanted was to kind of have some good example dot files for folks where they can go, okay, damn, that's cool. I want to steal that. And yeah, that's what I kind of put together in like a library. So like right here, I'm going to grab this. And I was going to do like a video on it too, but I wanted to get something like very, very good. You've watched my streams, have you? Sorry. But yeah, no, I get it, man. I totally get it. I really do appreciate your contribution, man. And I do really like the project. I want to just shed a good light and then give people a running shot at doing their own config. And that was my idea behind when I do Quick Shell, is to have just a very basic configuration and then have people go, you know what? I want a music module, or I want a full-blown start menu, like kind of how Vaxry did with his start menu. Really dug how he put, I think, the sys tray inside the menu. And then some of his configuration, I was like, that's some really cool ideas there. But if you can think it up, you can pretty much do it. And I think that's neat. I think it's so cool. But all right, guys, well, I'm going to shut it down. We already committed today's changes for Quick Shell. Appreciate, Outfoxed and Vax dropping in and ridiculing me for not knowing how to program. But, we're getting there. Little by little, it feels like every day I pick at this, it's getting better. And right now, honestly, I could main this full time right here. This pretty much mirrors my other existing ones, but I know we can make it a lot better. And every single time I touch it, I'm like, ooh, you know what would be really cool? Let's change that. And I think the sky's the limit. It's like just having a blank canvas to work with is how I see Quick Shell, QEMU, and working with Qt is definitely fun. Just so much. I'm like, ooh, I could think of that. So, yeah. All right, y'all. I'll try to jump on probably tomorrow because I need to get a good minimal config done before I do a video. And I'm going to try and grab more examples. We're going to probably look at like QuickFox's examples here that he put up on his personal Git and take a peek at that, which is weird. One thing I noticed too on all the Quick Shell dot files I found, everybody's using Nix. I think that's pretty neat, but it's so a bit on the niche side. So definitely modifying this. We'll probably make scripts for different setups. I would like different themes because, as I showed earlier, one thing I really loved was this theming out of here where you could just change this. And I wondered, did I break anything with, like, let's say we get the Windows XP. I don't know if this still works with some of the changes. Yeah. So Windows XP theme, I kind of broke a little bit because I haven't added the background. So in here, button background color, let's change this really fast. And button background color, let's add that right in here. And probably go, I almost feel like going, the Nord theme obviously does not work. Let's just grab something ugly that screams 90s. Oh, that's too bright. But we could also change the text. We'll probably add some more theming, clean this up a bit more. For now, I think we're just going to go with like just a straight black kind of. And then we'll come back and fix that. Fix that aesthetic. But I don't want any hard coded values in here because I want someone to be able to grab this minimal config and essentially just go in here and have a couple themes to choose from, maybe even a drop down menu where we take it. And I have to readjust this because I have it at 0, 0, and this is a bottom theme. but changing those values so you'd only edit just that one QML file to kind of make some really cool magic themes happen. And people are like, dude, this is neat, and kind of switch around a few of them is kind of the idea here. But neat. Let's see. I love it. That's so cool. Arch XP coming soon. Oh, I love it. I love it. I am not using Nyx. There we go, Max. There we go. All right, y'all. Peace. Oh, who should we raid too? Oh, YouTube.